Are you starting with a blog or having already one but not driving enough traffic or no traffic at all? If yes, then keep watching. Hey, what's up Ams? I'm Eduard Dziak from b2bdigitalmarketers.com, and in today's video you will learn the best practices and strategies to massively increase your website traffic using Blog SEO as well as other factors that affect it. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is Blog SEO? Blog SEO is a practice of creating relevant content on your website and optimizing it for SEO to help search engines to better understand it in order to improve your ranking, search visibility, and drive high-quality organic traffic that can drive leads and sales for your business. Also, Blog SEO is used to increase Google Eats score by targeting niche or industry-relevant keywords and attracting backlinks to your website. So, how to get started with Blog SEO? Let's break it down in the easy steps that you can follow. The first step in writing Blog SEO is to start with keyword research to find the relevant keywords to your business that you want to target. So with that, here are some of the best practices for keyword research and Blog SEO to improve your SEO results from your blog. The first practice that is super important is to always focus on your semantic SEO and not just blindly target and include keywords in your content. Since Google semantic search is getting better, optimizing your blog for semantic SEO is becoming crucial to effectively drive traffic. This means using LSI keywords in your content when you are writing your blog post instead of stuffing the same keyword over and over again. Also, provide more in-depth content where it is appropriate by including more information, answering questions users might have, and cover more topics than others to provide more value and become more topical relevant. However, it is not about having more words than your competitors, but more relevant and high-quality information that users might be looking for the targeted keyword. Remember, semantic SEO is all about the meaning and matching the intent of the searcher and not just having the keywords located on your pages, but having the information they are looking for. However, there is more to semantic SEO, so throughout this video, I will share more tips and information on how to fully optimize your blog for semantic SEO as well. Another super important practice for blog SEO and semantic SEO as well is to create topic clusters closely related to your products and services. Creating topic clusters is all about finding the main topic that is relevant to your business and then finding as many subtopics as possible to target. For example, if I'm a marketing agency and one of my services is content marketing, then I will create a topic cluster for content marketing by analyzing the keyword content marketing and then all the keywords a keyword research tool suggests to me. And based on this, I will select all the keywords that can be targeted as subtopics for the main keyword or the topic, content marketing, and start targeting the keywords. And by creating topic clusters for closely related topics to your business, you will increase your topic relevance. Google will see you as a go-to place for the topic, and you start owning the topic by appearing for most of the related keywords to your topic. And this is a very powerful way to increase your traffic and overall ranking. And this method will become even more important in the future as Google is improving their core web vitals and Eats score. The third super important practice for your blog SEO is to always generate a list of keywords from your seed keywords. A seed keyword is a basically keyword with broad meaning that can become a pillar page and have at least 10 cluster contents as subtopics to be targeted. Just like I have shown you with the topic clusters. Content marketing, where the keyword content marketing is a seed keyword because it is a broad topic with many subtopics to be targeted. So, when you are generating keywords for your blog SEO, you always want to generate keyword list from seed keywords. Let me show you. Step number 1, I open up SEO ranking keyword research tool, pop in my seed keyword, select my location and click on analyze. Then I will go to the keyword suggestions report to get a list of all similar and related keywords to my analyzed keyword. And step number 2, I will analyze the keyword ideas, both similar and related keywords reports suggested to me. However, before I select any keyword to target, I need to do one more thing, and that's for the next important practice. Another very important practice that you should apply for every keyword you are going to target and is essential for your blog SEO and semantic SEO to rank in SERPs and drive organic traffic is to analyze user intent. So going back to the keyword ideas from the keyword research tool for the analyze keyword content marketing. As you can see, there are almost 3000 keyword ideas for both similar and related keyword reports, and not all of them are subtopics and will have dedicated blog posts or pages. So to determine which keyword will have dedicated blog posts, you need to analyze user intent. For example, the keywords what is content marketing definition, content marketing define, and online content marketing are having the exact same user intent, thus the same pages appear in the SERPs. So, writing 4 separate blog posts for each keyword would result in a keyword cannibalization and a big waste of your time. Instead, you want to choose the keyword with the highest search volume as the main keyword and the rest as a supporting LSI keywords. Also, when you are searching keywords, it is important to look at the search or user intent to know which type of content and type of angle you should create. For example, a keyword B2B content marketing has content type, it's a blog post, because as you can see, the top ranking pages are blog posts. Content angle, guide, and or step by step, because that's what is ranking on the top of the search results. Or the keyword content marketing agencies. The content type is a blog post and content angle is a listicle blog post. So, before you start targeting keywords, always check search results in your targeted location to know whether the keyword is main or supporting and what type of content and angle you should create. The next important practice for your blog SEO is to have keywords across all stages of your buyer journey and not just targeting profitable keywords, as Google would not see you as an authoritative site like this. This especially applies to affiliates, since Google Core Web Vitals update, and also for any websites that want to generate sales or leads via blog posts. So, to find keywords across all the stages of the buyer journey, you must understand the different types of user intent and how they fit in the buyer journey. As you can see, there are 4 different types of keyword search intent or user intent, which are informational, navigational, commercial, and transactional. So, to fully optimize blog for SEO and Google Eats Score, you want to make sure you target keywords for your main topic across all stages of the buyer journey, and you are not just focusing on keywords with commercial and transactional value. Another super important practice for your blog SEO is to start targeting long-tail keywords first and then move to body keywords and head keywords. Basically, start from the bottom. Yeah. Why? There are a couple of reasons. Reason number 1, long-tail keywords are often less competitive with smaller keyword difficulty, which means you can rank for the keyword even with fewer backlinks and smaller authority. Reason number 2, going in depth with long-tail keywords means you will learn every angle there is to the subtopic, helping you better understand it. So when you write a content for a broader topic, it's much easier to mention the long-tail keyword with a short, on-point description. And the reason number 3, you will develop more resources such as pictures, graphics, and etc. for the long-tail keyword that you can use later on when mentioning the keyword elsewhere. For example, recently I wrote an article about Whitehead SEO where I mentioned targeting profitable keywords. And because I'm having a dedicated piece of content on profitable keywords, it helped me to better understand the topic, so I can create a shorter version of that in my other article with more dense information. On top of that, I created resources that I can reuse for my other articles if needed, and making it much easier and faster to produce new content for my targeted topics. And the last practice I want to mention for keyword research for blog SEO is to regularly perform content gap analysis for your blog. Simply find your competitor using SE ranking competitive research tool, pop your domain, and select the competitors report from the organic traffic research section. Here, you will have a list of hundreds of your close competitors based on your ranking keywords. Now, you just find the most relevant competitor to your targeted niche and select the tab Missing Keywords. And here you will get a list of keywords that your competitor domain is ranking for, but your domain is not, with additional helpful information such as the keyword difficulty, search volume, and SERP features. You can also switch the reports to unique keywords and choose your competitor domain to get more useful information such as their ranking and the ranking pages. So now you only need to scan the list of keywords to find keywords you don't rank for, but you should. And this is definitely one of the greatest keyword research strategies for your blog SEO. The second step, once you have completed the keyword research, is to start writing your blog post to target the keywords. So let me share with you some of the best practices how to write SEO articles, integrate keywords within the blog post, and improve your overall SEO result from your blog post. The first practice that you should bear in mind before start optimizing your blog articles for SEO is to actually not optimize and just write in the best and natural way you can. This is another important part of your blog and semantic SEO, as Google's semantic algorithm updates encourage web developers, marketers, and writers to use natural language when creating content instead of using forced keywords. And once you are done, then you can start optimizing for SEO, as like this you typically achieve the best ratio of SEO elements and user experience without over-delivering on one side and under-delivering on the other side. The second practice I recommend for every keyword you are going to target with your blog post to fully optimize for blog SEO is to write in-depth content. In-depth content is super related to the topic cluster model and semantic SEO, as the more content you produce around your closely related head and body terms, the higher ability you have to address a bigger percentage of the visitors than the competing site that you are trying to outrank in the search results. And this is exactly what Google is looking for. They are looking for this ability to address more specific needs of your audience with your content, and even those needs that have little to no search volume. For example, let's say you want to rank for your targeted keyword and you did topic research for the top ranking competitors and you found major topics they discussed. So to deliver more in-depth content, you want to cover topics from A to F and even considering adding 1 or 2 extra topics to play it safe. However, you should avoid these 3 common mistakes when it comes to in-depth content. The first mistake is more words doesn't equal more in-depth. The mistake number 2 is skipping on topics. And mistake number 3, targeting only high search volume keywords. To better understand how Google looking at in-depth content and how to produce it, check out this video. The next important practice that might be a bit annoying and tedious is to continually update your blog content to not lose ranking and organic traffic. Updating your blog articles or historical optimization strategy is all about finding old blog articles or pages on your website that used to perform well in SERPs, had high ranking and drove a lot of organic traffic, and update them. However, you want to prevent this by actually continually updating your blog articles at least once a year to ensure that they do not lose the traffic and ranking and keep driving that organic traffic continuously. The next important practice that you should pay close attention to is the feature snippet. You probably saw feature snippets on Google in all kinds of forms, whether it is a paragraph box, list feature snippet, or box feature snippet, and many more others. These feature snippets refer to as position 0 in Google SERPs, and according to Ahrefs, keywords with feature snippets split their click-through rate, where position 0 gets 8.6% click-through rate and position 1 gets 19.6% click-through rate, while keywords without feature snippet, the position number 1 gets 26% click-through rate on average. However, this study is back from 2018 and a lot of things have changed. For example, Google does no longer shows web pages twice that earn feature snippets. That means the statistic might not be anymore valid and the feature snippet position is no more position 0 but position 1, which means with organic click-through rate around 26%. Regardless, you should optimize your blog post for keywords with feature snippets to improve your ranking and website traffic. Step number 3 is to optimize your blog post for on-page SEO best practices. This is when we get more technical and you will learn the important aspects of using different types of keywords, where you should place them, as well as other very important on-page SEO aspects that you should optimize for blog SEO. The first practice that is super important, and that is to target only one main keyword per blog post. The reason why you want to target only one main keyword per blog post is that people know what they are looking for when they are entering their search query, and having blog posts optimized for multiple keywords would only confuse the heck out of them. For example, if you are a computer shop, then you don't want to optimize your blog post for 3 different main keywords like best gaming laptops, best laptops for working from home, and best laptops for gaming and work. This would not only confuse your users and perhaps annoy them, but also it would be difficult to optimize such a page without confusing Google as well. So instead, you want to make sure you create a dedicated blog post for every main keyword for ease of optimization and matching the user intent. The next important practice is to optimize each blog post for LSI keyword to avoid any keyword stuffing. As I said, Google is semantic search, meaning their core focus is to better understand the user intent and better matching up the right websites and web pages to serve that user intent and satisfy the user needs. However, whenever a user is entering a search term, they often type only 3 to 5 words, which is not really a lot of information. And then they expect Google to give them accurate, on-point answers on whatever they type into the search bar. But even though they enter only a few little information, they care about detailed things that don't show up in the query. Thus, including LSI or relevant keywords within your content will help you to address these hidden details. For example, let's say you are a coffee affiliate website and you want to target the primary keyword Americano coffee. So to find LSI keywords, you can pop your keyword into the keyword research tool and see what keywords are related to primary keywords. And then you can also check the top ranking pages for your targeted keyword to see what keywords their page is ranking for. Or you can also check out the people also ask box in Google Search. So from different sources, you pick up those keywords that could be included within your content like headings or just within the text. Obviously, the keywords that you're seeing being repeated the most should be included within your content, often as subheadings to expand on it. Just like I have shown you with the example on in-depth content. Another important aspect of your blog SEO is to include primary keyword in the title and title tag. A title tag is the first thing users see when they enter a search query, and if they don't find it relevant, then they won't obviously click on it. So how do you make title tag relevant? Enter the search query or keyword in your title tag and your title. Also, it is recommended to put your primary keyword towards the front in your title and title tag rather than at the end. And you can also have two different versions of your title and title tag, as you don't have to have the same title and title tag, and you can also change it up to improve click-through rate and your bounce rate. On top of that, Google is using title tags to better understand what your web page is about. Thus, including your primary keyword will help Google to better understand what's your web page about. However, Google can change the title tag to better match the search query, pulling the text from your content to improve relevancy and click-through rate. The next best practice for blog posts on-page SEO is to optimize your meta description. Similar to title tags and titles, you want to include your primary keyword in your meta description to improve your content relevancy to a search query to improve your click-through rate. However, Google does not use keywords in meta description as a ranking factor, but because including your primary keyword improves relevancy and click-through rate, it indirectly influences ranking and quite a bit. Remember, Google is expecting your web page to have a certain click-through rate, and if you don't meet that, your page will be pushed down, and those pages that meet the click-through rate will be promoted to the top of the search results. Another important on-page SEO practice for blog SEO is to use your targeted keyword within your URL. And this is one of the easiest ways to help Google understand your content, improve your ranking and traffic. Yet so many people still make the mistake and let WordPress copy the title in the URL structure. But that's a huge mistake. What if you need to change your title or update your content? What if your structure shows the last year when it was published and you just updated your content? Changing the URL structure would cause moving the page to a new URL and a lot of broken links. It is so much hassle and bad SEO practice. Instead, you want to create evergreen type of URL structure. For example, whenever I published a new article, I always put my primary keyword there and that's it. Like this, if I need to update the content, my URL structure doesn't change and I avoid all the hassle, and I also send a strong signal to Google what my page is about so they can rank it better. And then the super important on-page SEO practice for your blog post that often gets forgotten or ignored, and that is using only SEO optimized pictures and videos. Images are becoming the new keywords, as 62% of Gen Z and millennial consumers want visual search more than any other new technology. And image search represents about 30% of all queries generated across the top 10 US web search properties. So, properly SEO optimized pictures and videos can be additional sources of traffic for your website. In fact, research showed that SEO images can increase your traffic by 37%. On top of that, Using images and graphics on your website can increase your post engagement by 650% than just having words. Additionally, images can be a great source of high-quality backlinks from other sites that are using pictures from your site. For example, the image on topic clusters from HubSpot has been used on about 1,600 pages across the internet. And when you analyze the page from where the pictures came from, it generated over 600 backlinks from over 300 referring domains. And a large chunk of it was generated by their images. And there are so many more benefits why you should use images and optimize them for SEO, such as better user experience and improving content quality. The next on our list of best on-page SEO practices for blog SEO is to connect all your pages with internal links. Internal links are the #1 way how Google discovers the internet, including your web pages, and ranks the content in the search. Google also uses internal links to understand the importance of a page on your website and what the content is about. Let me explain. If Google discovers that a lot of internal links are pointing to a particular page, then Google considers it of high importance for a website owner, thus improve the ranking of the page. Additionally, Google reads the anchor text to get the context and a better understanding of the page you are linking to. For example, if you are linking to a page with the anchor text long tail keywords, then Google will use it as an additional signal to better understand your page, along with other signals like the URL name, keyword usage, and etc. And the greatest thing about internal links is that you can directly influence the ranking of your most important pages, including money pages, such as the service and product pages, with internal links by increasing the number of links pointing to the page and passing the valuable link juice from pages that get a lot of external links. Another super important practice for your blog SEO is to include outbound links. Outbound links, according to SEO expert Brandine, are the #1 on-page SEO mistake that people do. Linking out is a part of the Google Eats score. Google is looking at what pages you are linking and what could be the reason. They want to know if you are a legitimate source and if you provide sources to prove your claims. And during the PubCon Vegas in 2019, Gary Elias was asked, is ranking out to authoritative sites like Wikipedia a ranking factor? And Gary answered, reference your sources. If you are writing about how carrot juice can cure cancer, you sure as hell better have a resource for that with extensive information. This shows that Google is using outbound links to better understand your website and your expertise. And using outbound links within your context also improve user experience and the trust of your users. Including references is and always was a good sign that the writer understands and is knowledgeable within its industry. Such like when you are writing a research paper, you need to provide references and sources to prove your claim. And if that doesn't exist, then you need to become the source. The first step is to optimize your blog SEO with technical SEO aspects to ensure your blog posts are properly crawled, indexed, and ranked. Also, ensuring you are delivering the right user experience is important as well. So let's discuss how you can optimize your blog post for technical SEO. The first practice of technical SEO for blog SEO, where a lot of newbies is still making mistake, is to non-index your category, tag, and paginated pages. Some may argue that categories pages are an important part of your site architecture, especially if you are running a blog where categories are often a keyword, such as a food blog. For example, having a food blog and a keyword that requires a category page, such as a chicken recipe or vegetarian recipe, you should not use the standard category page by your CMS system like WordPress. They are hard to fully optimize for SEO, super ugly, and not user-friendly. Instead, you want to create your own category or hub pages and redirect the category into the custom category page. And like this, you have a full control over the page and will rank much better than with the standard category pages made by your CMS. And regarding the tag and paginated pages, you want to non-index it as well, as those do not have any value for search engines and your users as well, and do not need to be indexed. The second and very important technical SEO practice for blog SEO that you should implement for your website is to use some website audit tool that regularly scans your website. Website audit tools like SE Ranking will scan each of your web pages against 120 parameters that impact SEO. The tool offers an insightful dashboard with the charts and graphs that help you to get a general overview of your website health. And if you are less experienced, then website audit tools often provide guidance what errors should be fixed ASAP and what issues have less of an impact on your SEO. A website audit tool is super important for your blog SEO and generally for your website to help you fix critical errors on your website that can cause loose ranking, website traffic, provide a bad user experience, or even preventing your website from appearing on SERPs. The next important practice that you should follow is to also have some SEO plugin that helps you with on-page SEO factors in the form of checklist. SEO plugin like Rank Map for WordPress is a super helpful tool that helps you to optimize each of your blog posts for the best on-page SEO and keywords best practices. The tool gives you a useful checklist that you can follow and shows you how well is your blog post optimized for your targeted keyword. And regardless of your SEO knowledge, having the second pair of eyes to check your blog post against important SEO parameters is always good. Another aspect that will help you with your blog SEO is a sitemap. A sitemap is a file read by search engines to provide information about specific types of content such as your pages, blog posts, videos, images, and news. Sitemaps provide information about your new blog post and the images you are using for a specific blog post. And while sitemaps are not necessary for your website, and if you did a proper job with your internal linking strategy, search engines should discover your content. However, in most cases, your site will benefit from having a sitemap and you will never be penalized for having one. So how do you get a sitemap? There are numerous ways. If you are using popular CMS systems, they often create basic versions for you. But for more advanced features like image sitemap for your blog post, it is recommended to have an SEO plugin that does all the setting up automatically for you, such as Rank Map. You can also use SE Ranking website audit tool to generate a sitemap for you that you can upload to your website, or any third-party tools. However, this is a more manual process that needs to be repeated whenever you publish new content. Another important technical SEO practice for your blog SEO is to implement Schema Markup for your articles. Schema Markup is a specific type of code used to help search engines to retrieve important information about your page. There are numerous types of Schema Markup used by Google search engine. However, the most important schema markups for your blog post that you should implement are article and breadcrumbs schema markups. Article schema markup helps search engines to get important information, such as the type of article, author, headline, keywords, published and modified date, and description, while breadcrumb schema markup helps search engines to better understand the relationships between pages and improve user experience if displayed. The next very important step of optimizing your blog SEO for maximum impact is to use blog posts for link building. Like I said, blogging and high quality content can be great for attracting high quality backlinks that increase your overall authority, ranking, and website traffic. Unfortunately, there are numerous ways how you can help it and generate backlinks with your content. So let's dive into some of the best practices of using blogging for link building. The first and arguably most used link building strategy with blog posts is to create linkable assets such as infographics, free certifications, case studies, list posts, trends and statistics, tools, and lead magnets. According to Backlink Club, a research of 912 million blog posts, why posts, what posts, and infographics get linked to more often than other content formats. For example, I have created a list of B2B SEO statistics that I keep updated with the latest information, and ever since it has been published, it brings consistently high quality backlinks. Or this infographic on 13 reasons why your brain craves infographics has generated over 1,700 backlinks from 1,100 referring domains. With that, creating linkable assets can be hard to pull off, but if done correctly, it can drive consistently new high-quality backlinks for your website. Another great way to build backlinks with blog SEO is to target keywords that generate a lot of high-quality backlinks for the top-ranking sites and then apply the skyscraper technique. This is a very effective way to generate backlinks if done right. Let me show you. Step number 1. You need to target keywords that have generated a lot of backlinks for the top-ranking sites, and you will be able to create better, more comprehensive, and in every way more superior content. For example, recently, such keywords in my niche I wanted to target is the keyword long-tail keywords. As you can see, this keyword has generated a lot of backlinks for the top-ranking sites. The step number 2 is to create better content. And I don't mean just better, but in every way more superior by adding more information, creating better graphics, improving the process if can, delivering information faster, and anything and everything you can think of to improve your blog post quality. And the step number 3, once your awesome blog post is published, then it's time to reach out to people to let them know about your awesome piece of content. Try to reach out to people that have linked to your competitors to show them your better and more up-to-date article. Also, reach out to people that you have mentioned in your blog post as well. Remember, this is the number game where you want to go with the sniper approach for as many people as you can, like the white death. The next very effective link building practice for blog SEO is to create industry study and research blog posts. And this is one of the most difficult and expensive link building strategies, however very effective if it's done correctly. A great example of such success using industry study and research is Brandy from Backlinks, who created numerous study and research posts and generated tens of thousands of backlinks and referring domains, such as the blog post on search engine ranking that generated over 14,400 backlinks from over 5,500 referring domains. Or another great example of using industry study and research is Gartner, and their research on the cost of downtime has generated over 2,300 backlinks from 1,100 referring domains. With that, they can be very expensive to pull out or time costly, but the reward can be far greater than with any other link building strategy. Another important part of building backlinks for your website is to optimize your content and blog posts for social shares. Many SEOs and bloggers neglect this part as social shares do not bring any link juice or direct benefit of improving ranking for the website. However, according to Matt Diggity, the link building expert, getting social shares is important to build trust and exit something called Google Sandbox to maximize your SEO impact from your built backlinks. Building social shares and social fortress is for you to build trust and imitate the actions of a normal business as it creates an online presence, like said by Matt in his backlink blueprint. In the sandbox, the name of the game is to build trust. Thus, it is recommended to use link types that are most commonly used throughout the natural internet. The likelihood of a link being built on a brand new page is much higher than a link being added to an aged page. And on the other side, while social shares do not directly improve your SEO like backlinks, but getting social shares can still improve your brand reputation, referral traffic, create brand awareness, improve your local searches, thus also local SEO. Social shares can be really powerful if done correctly, and your website should be optimized for them as they can indirectly improve your search rankings. And the last and super important step for your blog SEO is to monitor important stats to ensure everything is running as it should, and if not, you know how to improve it. Arguably, this is the most important step out of all and often skipped or not even mentioned by marketers. However, tracking your results, looking at what's happening, will ultimately give you important insights on how to improve your content based on the feedback from your users. So let's have a look at some important practices to monitor your SEO. The first thing I always run whenever I publish a new article or my article does underperform is SEO ranking OnPage SEO checker. This nifty tool shows me everything I need to know about my article and how I can further optimize it for getting the best results. It shows me things like keyword usage, keywords recommendation, image optimization, page load optimization, link analysis, content analysis, technical issues, and much more. You definitely want to always run an OnPage SEO checker for your blog post whenever you publish a new article, republish an article, or trying to figure it out what's wrong with your web page. The second and very important practice for your blog SEO is to always try to reduce your bounce rate. Bounce rate shows the percentage of visitors who enter the site and then leave rather than continuing to view other pages within the same site. And according to Custom Media Labs, blog posts have an expected 65% or much higher bounce rate numbers, as the visitors usually leave after getting value from the relevant information in an article. So, why did users leave your page? There can be many reasons. For blog posts, it is because they got the information they wanted. Thus, you satisfy the user intent, or they did not get it and they leave the page to get it somewhere else. Thus, you did not satisfy the user intent. It can also be because the user experience or UX is poor, such as having an ugly design. However, distinguishing whether the bounce rate is high because of bad user experience or good user experience can be really hard, and you cannot just base your judgment on one metric. So let's move to the next one that will further help you to understand your blog SEO performance. And the next important metric to improve your user experience and your blog SEO is to increase your time on page, also called session duration or engagement rate, depending on what analytics you are using. Time on the page is very important as it shows you how long your users spend on your website. This information can be used to determine whether your bounce rate is high because of good or bad user experience. According to Databox, the average time on a website is about 2 to 3 minutes on average. However, this depends on many different things. So, if your blog post is rather short and yet provides all the information on the topic, then having a shorter time on the page is alright. However, if your blog posts are long, and I mean more than 2000 words, then you should meet this benchmark. If not, then there is something wrong. Another important metric that you should track is your average click-through rate for your blog post. Here, you want to make sure that your blog post meets the average click-through rate based on the average position they are ranking for. For example, 3 of my blog posts are having similar ranking position with click-through rate of 2.3%, 0.3% and 0.8%. So the average click-through rate for these 3 blog posts is 1.1%. So based on this, I can do some quick fixes such as improving my title and meta description, analyzing my keyword usage, adding SERP features, improving page speed load, or using tools to A/B test my title tag and meta description. Analyzing your click-through rate is often an easy and quick way to boost your website traffic and improve the impact of your blog SEO. Another important aspect of your blog SEO that you should monitor is your session recordings. Monitoring session recording is like looking over the shoulder of your users and trying to figure it out what is happening in their heads and what they are looking for. This gives you many insights like what most of your users are looking for and make it more prominent or display it higher in a blog post. Also, with session recordings, you can also find many hidden issues that cannot be detected by SEO tools. For example, by watching session recordings on my website, I discovered that my menu was not responsive and impacted the user experience, thus my ranking as well. Another great way to analyze your website and blog SEO is to use heat maps. Using heat maps to learn more about your audience behavior is the next step to level up your SEO effort. Similarly to session recordings, you can view what users are doing on your website, but at a bigger scale. Heat maps help you to optimize for user intent, to better understand what your users are looking for, optimize your blog layout, determine the optimal content length, and identify what confuses your users. For example, in one of my blog articles, I have discovered that one of my sections gains a lot of popularity. However, that section was almost at the bottom of the page. Thus, only those most determined found it. And that's all from me. I hope you have learned something new, so don't forget to like my video, leave a nice comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, check out all my links in the description for my favorite SEO and other marketing tools. Ciao!